Hey beautiful soul, this is jessxgoh. I'm a trauma coach in childhood emotional and relationship abuse. And is your trauma ruining your relationships? And here's the thing, this is a common thing that so many of us have gone through, myself included, right? Where I sabotage my chances at love. And it's not only in love, it's in friendships, relationships with my family, and also professional relationships too, right? And so this is related to childhood trauma number 2. And you know, it's about the feelings of abandonment, you know? So what happens when your wounded inner child plays out in your relationships, particularly romantic ones, right? And so typically what happens is when we're coming from a place of childhood trauma number 2, the leading actor, and that wounding is all about abandonment issues, not feeling worthy enough for love. And you know, the biggest fear that you have with this childhood trauma is loneliness, right? Because you rather be in a relationship than to be by yourself. And so I'm going to give you a personal example of how this has caused a lot of havoc in my love life. And so here's the thing, I wasn't aware that my childhood trauma, the little wounded girl inside of me, was calling the shots in my relationships with men. And what happens is that I noticed that I was attracting toxic relationships, toxic men who are either married, coming in and out of engagement, or a de facto relationship, or they had emotional baggage, because the little girl inside of me was holding on to emotional baggage with her daddy. And the thing is that when we don't heal our childhood trauma, we play that out in our relationships. So if you find it a real struggle to push people away or to sabotage the current relationship you're in or the previous one, here's the reason why. When your needs are not met, you start to consume yourself into a negative spiral, which is the negative self-talk, that you're not good enough, that he doesn't or she doesn't love you, or he or she's not doing this for you, he or she thinks you need to lose weight, or whatever it is, right? You start subscribing to that old program. And what happens is you start to feel these feelings of unworthiness. And when you feel these feelings of unworthiness, you either want to numb it out or you feel overwhelmed. And so you push the other person away. You push away your beloved. And so that creates a lot of problems in relationships, obviously, right? There's no communication, it's passive aggressive, and you know, then the tension builds up, and then there's a lot of conflict that is reflected back as your internal conflict. So just to bring it back to my personal experiences, there are moments where I did have my chances in love. However, the little girl inside of me sabotaged it by clinging on to men, by holding them on for dear life. And the men felt suffocated. Then they withdraw, and that makes them anxious, right? Nobody likes to be controlled. Nobody wants to be around a little girl who is demanding and needy, right? And that's how I came across, and I wasn't even aware of it. I thought that my behavior was quite normal. And the last relationship that I was in, I wasn't so attached to him, but I was attached to his family, because the little girl inside of me that feels so wounded, that feels so unlovable by her own parents, is seeking that same love from other people's parents, right? And so I was able to experience that, and it took me a long time to break away from that relationship, because I had this strong attachment to his parents, and they were giving me the love and the praise and the compliments that I was looking for, that the little girl inside of me never received, never experienced from her own parents. And so I was holding on to him, even though deep down I knew that this wasn't my one, right? And I was holding on to him because he felt safe. I was holding on to him because I never had a man who made me feel special, who made me feel comfortable, who made me feel safe, and who treated me with such beautiful gifts that so many men in the past wouldn't want to share that with myself. And so as soon as I broke up from the relationship, I started to purge out a lot of grief, because the little girl inside of me started to feed me stories that I'm alone, that nobody wants to be around me anymore, that I'm unlovable. And until I moved out and lived in my own place, it took me 1 month to fully heal that recovery from pulling myself away and cutting the cords with my ex and his parents. And through that 1 month recovery, I started to realize, holy moly, the whole time I wasn't operating from the adult self. I was coming from a place of the wounded little girl in that relationship and in previous relationships. And it helped me to open up my eyes as to why I sabotaged it. Because I wasn't able to love myself fully. And so if you're struggling with relationships, how are you not loving yourself fully? How can you start finding solace and comfort by being by yourself? To be independent, to know that who you are is enough, that you don't need a relationship, you don't need a man or a woman to make you feel complete, right? What if you already are whole, you already are complete within yourself right here? And so that was the biggest realization and lesson that I've learned about love and relationships, is to not operate from the wounded little girl, but to approach it from an empowered adult state. And that is truly embodying the unconditional love that I have for myself from the inside out. And I spent Christmas by myself, and it's been a long time since I've spent Christmas by myself. And the most amazing thing was, I didn't feel miserable. I didn't feel lonely. I felt so comfortable in my own skin. I felt comfortable providing a service to my clients on that day, and that I saw it as another day rather than seeing it as, oh, it should be about gifts and being with family and people and enjoying good food, right? And so I spent Christmas so differently this time around, where I was eating super healthy. I didn't indulge in anything at all, just feeding my body and my temple with juices and salads, and just giving me what I need. I don't need to indulge to feel good. I don't need to purge myself or binge with chocolates and candy and chips and junk food and all that sort of stuff and soft drinks. No, because I'm not coming from a place of the wounded little girl anymore. I'm coming from an empowered adult place where I know who I am. I know that who I am and my presence is enough. That having a man or a relationship is just an icing on the cake. It's not a necessity or a priority. And that's the same for you too, right? If you truly want to manifest a divine, conscious, healthy relationship, right? without being needy, without being controlling, without being fearful, without pushing love away. You need to claim yourself. You need to embody that unconditional love that is already there, by the way. It's waiting for you to tap into it so you can exude that love from within and without, and creating that magnetism to pull in your beloved. I truly hope this message serves you, and I cannot stress enough that it is the wounded inner child inside of you that is sabotaging your chances at love. And once you can get that under control, and it's not by suffocating your wounds, it's not by numbing yourself out, it's not about pushing away the feelings of rejection. No, it's about how you can feel into those feelings and give yourself permission to cry, to let go, to forgive yourself for all of those times where you sabotage your chances at love. And here's another thing, it's not meant to be. If it's meant to be, it will come. So if you feel that this is a real struggle for you in your life right now, and you are ready to take yourself to the next level, and perhaps you've tried clinical therapy and self-development and you still haven't got the results that you're looking for, I would love to invite you to come and join me for a 5-day online journey to healing yourself from the inside out. And I will be teaching you and training you and helping you to heal that wounded inner child that is calling the shots in your life, that is controlling your life and ruining your chances at success in relationships. So if this is something that you deeply desire, that you want to learn how to be accountable of your thoughts, heal and manage your childhood traumas so you can show up as this divine and sovereign being, click on the link below and enroll into my online program called Rebuild Your Self-Worth. And there's some amazing goodies and freebies in there too when you join. I hope this serves you, and make sure you've subscribed to my YouTube channel so you get the latest content on how to heal and manage your childhood traumas. Blessing you with all of my love.